Welcome back to our learning session on bears. This is Vicki from Learning Home Volunteers. Did you have a good time imagining yourself on that huge adventure, walking through the grass, going into the cold river, and looking for a bear? I was glad to hear that everyone arrived at home safe and sound. Well, this week we're going to play with those adorable little plastic bears. We're going to make a picnic for our teddy bears, and we're going to play a little hide and seek with the little plastic bears. This is activity number 5, and in your learning box, you're going to find printed materials with groups of animals in 2 sizes. The object of this game is actually to draw a line from the big animal to the smaller version of itself. In this case, from one bear to another. The concept of big and small is made clear when you actually order things by size. So when things are close, we could always use our measuring devices to figure out which one is bigger. Looking for ways to work on bigger and smaller with your learner? Well, here are some ideas. You can order your shoes by size, or you could create your own sorting activity uses paper and straws of different size. Or my favorite way is actually just using a piece of yarn or string to measure things. You can measure arm lengths, wrist size, waist size. You can use it to measure how tall something is. The ideas are really endless. This is activity number 6. This game can be played a number of different ways. You will need your dice from the teacher's kit. I think the first and easiest way to play this game is to simply roll the dice. The number on the dice is the number of bears you put on the sheet. You want to count them as you place them on the sheet. When the sheet is filled, the game is actually over. Now you can play this with 2 players. What you want to do is give each player an equal number of bears, and then each player takes turns rolling the dice and putting their bears on the sheet. Obviously, the first player out of bears actually wins. This is activity number 7, our teddy bear picnic. It's time to get ready for the biggest social event of the year, a teddy bear picnic. And we have so much to do. We have to make bread for our jam sandwiches and lemonade. And of course, we have to make the jam sandwiches. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time. You and your child are going to love making bread together. And all the sticky mixing is actually done in the bag. The recipe for the bread is on the box contents document, and you can certainly use it for precise instructions. But kind of a general overview goes like this. You want to first start by taking all of the bags out of the big bag, and then you want to separate your flour into 3 equal parts. We are going to get started with making the bread by putting 1 part flour, all of the sugar, the yeast, and warm water into the big Ziploc bag. It's really important that the water is warm but not hot, because the hot water will kill the yeast and then the bread will be flat. Now we need to wait and let the yeast do its work, about 10 minutes. So you can just set the bag down on the counter for 10 minutes. And once the yeast is activated, you want to add the next part of the flour along with the oil and the salt. You want to seal the bag at the top and then have the child mix it again and again until it's all combined. Once combined, you want to open the bag up and then add that last piece of flour. Seal the bag again and mix it again. Now, once everything is combined, it'll start coming together. When it does that, you want to turn the bread out onto a piece of wax paper sprinkled with flour. Knead the bread for 5 minutes. Kneading is really simple. You just fold the bread, push it down, fold it, push it down. Now, once it's kneaded, you want to separate the dough into 2 equal parts. Place each piece into a well-greased pan. Cover it with a clean towel and then let it sit for 30 minutes as it doubles in size. Once it's doubled, you're actually ready to bake. You want to put both pans in an oven preheated to 375 degrees and bake it for 25 minutes. You want to take the bread out when it sounds hollow, when you thump it on the top and is golden brown like we see here. You want to let the pan sit on the counter for about 5 minutes. That'll allow the bread to cool down and pull away from the pan. Once the 5 minutes is over, you can dump the bread out of the pan and you're ready to do a little bit of tasting, which to be honest is my favorite part. We're hoping that your child will learn to make a sandwich as part of this exercise, which will require them to slice the bread and put the jam on the bread. Now they should be able to slice the bread with a simple, uh, dinner knife by just using it with a sawing motion on the bread itself. And once the slices are ready, obviously they can spread the jam on the bread and then cover it with a slice, and voila, you've got a jam sandwich. Well, you're going to need something to drink. And then this is activity number 8, making lemonade. Well, if this was a different time of year, we would be making lemonade with sugar, water, and lemon juice, but no lemons. So, what you want to do is get a glass out, put some of your packet in the glass, and then add water. Most of the packets will make a full glass of lemonade. Let it taste it as you come, uh, drink it and let them see how sour it is and whether or not they want to water it down a little bit more. Some children like it watered down more than others. We hope you have a great picnic with your teddy bears and families, and we would love to see how your bread turned out. So please post up on Class Tag. This is activity number 8, Find the Bear. This is actually a carnival game that was originally called a shell game because they hid a shell underneath. And it starts by arranging 3 cups with the top down. Under one of those cups, you want to put one of the little plastic bears. The cups are then shuffled in plain view of the other person playing. The person who didn't shuffle a cup guesses where the bear is now. The goal of the player is to keep a careful eye on the cup where the bear is hiding and while it's being moved. This game works on concentration, memory, and most children find it quite exciting. If you're shuffling the cup, you can make the game easier by shuffling it slowly or harder by shuffling the cups quickly. The last time I played this with one of our learners, they were shuffling the cups and I was actually guessing. And every time he shuffled, the child pointed to the cup where the bear was, just in case I wasn't paying good enough attention. Very sweet. Well, that's all for this week. Next week, we're going to do a little art, rescue some bears, and explore some shape buttons. And I'll see you then.